Hello, everyone. I'm Monica the Creative Beast. Thank you so much for tuning into my channel today. I am doing a art book flip through of a book I made for the Are You Book Enough challenge. I love this challenge so much. It's so much fun. And this is a book I made last month for the month of April, and the theme was memory. I was actually sharing a lot of different memories as I had participated in a really great community project called Redefining Community, which was hosted by Ellie Trier on Instagram. And I'll be happy to share links below this video. So one of the memories I was sharing was a memory of my beloved art retreat. I had made a special little art book back in the day. I had lots of photos of the presentation center where the art retreat was held, and I made what I called the portable presentation center as a donation piece for one of our gatherings, and it was purchased by a fellow retreat person, and we were doing a little kind of auction of sorts to raise money for the people who ran the presentation center. Sadly, the presentation center is now closed and no longer open to the public. It makes me really sad that not only did I lose my art retreat, I also lost the space that it was held in, because I always thought I would try and go back to just spend some time, a nice weekend away at the presentation center. It's up in the mountains of Los Gatos, and it's surrounded by beautiful pine trees. It's quiet. There was a labyrinth. There were some beautiful places to walk around, and it was just really a lovely place. So I have very happy memories of the presentation center. And I had always planned on making a book for myself, so I thought that this would be a really great time to do that for this challenge. So this is the second version of the portable presentation center that I made for myself as a little keepsake. And I'll just show you really quickly what this book is and the book form that it is. So the original portable presentation center was a sort of matchbox creation where I had a little box that I put the book in, and then it had this cover. When constructing this book, I kind of made a little bit of a boo-boo. I made the cover, or the belly band, before making the box. So I'm unable to have a box for this version, but I may wind up making a little box case again, and then redoing the band for the whole book. So right now, it's really just a kind of belly band, as you can see. And this photograph is a photocopy of an image that I took across the street from the presentation center, where some beautiful dogwoods. They were always in bloom when the retreat was in full swing. So it's really nice to have this image. It reminds me of welcoming at the presentation center. So let's go ahead and pull out this little book. It's an accordion fold book made from a single sheet. So it's a meandering book, and I generally like to work with the round cut. And if you're wondering what those terms are, I recommend you go ahead and take a look at Shereen La Plantz Cover to Cover book. She talks about these single sheet books, and she has some great examples, different ways that you can cut them. And I know I mentioned one way in one of my previous videos. It was the 5 mini books, and it was a single sheet book that kind of meandered, went around and around in a spiral, but I like mine to be a little more symmetrical, so this is cut in the ram style. This is a large sheet of paper, so it will be a little tricky, but I'm going to try and go through all the pages of this book. So we start with the logo for An Artful Journey. And then we open it out, and you see this is just outside the gates of the presentation center, so that's the welcome sign. And this is, as you can see right here, this is the driveway. The driveway starts around here and goes around, and then it comes around here, and you go through this driveway. Parking is right off to here, but I really loved this building, so I have this image of it. So that is a structure that is on the grounds. And let's flip this around a little bit. So this is part of the grounds here. Lots of beautiful trees, rocks, this beautiful little bench. There are lots of benches scattered all over the presentation center where you can sit. There's some lovely reflection. Let's see, I think this is a little bit of an extended visual of this image here. Okay, so this part is what you're seeing here now. Okay, so let's see, and then we keep opening the book. And because this is a single sheet, so we can see from the beginning here as we go around, and we see what's happening. So we've gone through these two images here. And this is just outside the dining room. This is a beautiful, well, it was a beautiful bell and this lovely structure. I believe it was gifted to the center. The presentation center was an old mission of California, and this is the original adobe that still exists. So a lot of the classes took place here, and a lot of people spent time here, as in, you know, this is where the lodgings were. And it's a really lovely structure. Okay. And just around here in this picture is this little sort of outdoor chapel, as it were. The presentation center was owned by Catholic nuns. So there was this little outdoor chapel. There was also a chapel in the mission. And we would have yoga there in the mornings. That was really nice. Some of the fauna and nature of the presentation center, big, huge boulders. This is just outside the building of the dining hall and some of the conference rooms. And apparently the labyrinth was just off over here. It took me a while to figure out where it was, as in it took me a couple of trips to the presentation center to find out. This is part of the grounds. So the dining hall is around here. The mission is over here. And there's all these grounds with these lovely trees. I remember one year being there and making paper with Albie Smith, and we would come out here and leave our papers on the grass to dry with a couple of simple rocks so they wouldn't go blowing off into the wind. That was so much fun. And here's another view of that area. You can just make out corner of the mission right here. This is a road that you can travel on. It was raining, so it's a little wet looking and reflecting the surface. And you can see these lovely blossoms of the tree. It was so pretty. The presentation center had really pretty grounds. And this is inside the courtyard of the mission. So there was a courtyard that's hidden from view from the main image that I've shared. So you can see another bench here. Sometimes we would do some spray painting in the courtyard area, or you could just sit there and have a nice quiet moment of reflection. Lots of space for quiet, for solitude, for reflection at the presentation center. It was really nice. This is the first year I was there. The workshop was Funky Chunky Coffee Table Book, taught by Kelly Ray Roberts and Mady Rose. And I took a picture real quickly. It was like mid-workshop, early in the morning, as people were having breakfast before I ran off to the dining hall for breakfast. I thought I'd take a picture of the room with tables in action and being used. One of my favorite images. This is an early version. I've taken other pictures since then. So this was when the sun had really already just about gone down. People were arriving for dinner. So the dining hall was lit from within. Everybody is in community, getting food, sitting at tables, chatting up a storm, making connections. I love this image so much. And another image I've taken that I've shared on Instagram where the sun was still out just a tiny bit, but you can see like the pathway that leads up to the dining hall. It always feels like a warm welcome from the cold as I would walk to the dining hall for dinner. It's my favorite memory of the retreat. So this is a meandering book. Woo-hoo-hoo. Oh my goodness, look at how much is going on here. Ah! So this is really too big of a sheet to probably get in front of the whole camera, but you're kind of getting an idea. Okay, so there's that. And let's push this around here. And you can see that it's one great big long sheet. That's cut. So we go around and around and around and around and around to close it all up. An artful journey. And the portable presentation center. So it's sort of like a pocket memory. I have another sheet of paper this size, and I have some images of a trip I took with my dear boyfriend to Portland, and we also crossed the gorge to Washington State to see the Sam Hill Museum and a really fascinating war memorial that looks like Stonehenge. So I'm thinking of making what I would call the portable Portland. And if I get around to making that, I'll be sure to share it with you. So I just want to say thank you so much for coming to watch the Portable Presentation Center and the Artful Journey Retreat. Some happy memories. This is my memory book, the Are You Book Enough Challenge, for the month of April in 2019. A meandering book. It's a kind of fun way to make a little memory book of photos. I think the sheet of paper was about 22 by 14. I can double check, and I'll try and leave the measurements down below this video for you. So it's a fun way of having memories of a special place and time. And that was one of the objects of my memory book, was being able to re-commemorate the presentation center and my time spent at the Artful Journey Retreat. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you come back again soon, because I'll be sharing more books in the future. Thanks, and I'll see you again next time.